What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel, if you didn't know, and I am the co-owner of Flourish Lashes. So today's video, like it says in the title, is all about tweezers. I'm going to be teaching you guys exactly what tweezers are for what. I know how overwhelming this can be in the very beginning, especially when you're now getting your kit and you're seeing all these different brands with all these different tools, all these different tweezers. It is super confusing and I'm here to simplify it for you. So let's just get into it. I do want to say that it has been a long time and I haven't done it in a while, but this video I will be doing a giveaway for you guys. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see what I'm giving away and how to enter. Okay, so here we have our lineup of tweezers. These are all Flourish Lashes tweezers. Of course, you can get a ton of different tweezers from different lines. Everybody carries different tweezers, different angles, but these, I believe, are your simple, more useful tweezers, if you will, or some that you might come across a little more often. So I'm gonna kind of break down these guys and let you know basically what each one does and how you would use each tweezer in your lashing experience. Okay, so I'm gonna start with our straight isolation tweezer right here. It's this black one. So when you're looking for a straight isolation tweezer, you wanna make sure that you're looking at the right tweezer. It's very different from a straight tweezer. You have your straight tweezers and then you have your straight isolation tweezers. So the difference between your straight tweezer and your straight isolation tweezer is that, like I said, these guys are actually for isolation versus a straight tweezer is really for placement. So the difference between the two is that you'll see that it has this little groove here on the edge of the tweezers. And what that does is it actually allows you to kind of open and close the tweezers above your client's lid without actually pinching their skin underneath, because it has that edge that almost lifts it off their lid. So you can actually open and close the tweezers and not have to worry that you're pinching them. As opposed to if it didn't have this edge, when you open and close, you have to worry that you're kind of grabbing the skin with it. So that's why these are specifically isolation tweezers. So these are great as a beginner as well. I know when I got certified, I actually was given straight isolation tweezers to start off with, as most trainers do give straight isolation tweezers to start, but that doesn't mean that it is a must. There is no absolute must between which isolation tweezer works for you. It's really just what you prefer. So then we have another isolation tweezer, which is this one right here. It is our gold curved isolation tweezer. It's our most popular isolation tweezer, and to be honest, it's my personal favorite. I prefer a curved isolation tweezer just because I feel like it rounds the eye a bit better and you're able to get right in between the lashes without having to tilt your hand too much. Now, I will say though that it does depend on the person's or the client's eye shape, whether they have deep set eyes or any kind of specific eye that changes the shape depending on the isolation tweezer you're using. It could technically be a bit better for a specific eye shape versus another. I know for deep set eyes, sometimes people say the straight isolation is a little bit easier to work with versus the curved. And then what could happen is if it's too curved for that person's eye shape, it could be pinching them instead of actually benefiting them with this edge here. It could almost make the job a little bit harder than easier. So everything kind of has its purpose and they're a little bit different and everyone's eyes a little bit different. So it's really just what works for you and your scenario. Okay, then we have our 45-degree tweezer. This is the 45-degree angle tweezer, also known as our JL tweezer. So this one actually has a couple different uses. So it can be used as an isolation tweezer, and because it's curved or angled at the tip, it doesn't necessarily need that edge at the bottom, because generally you'll be lifting it over the client's lid anyway, so you don't really have to risk pinching them. The thing is with this one is you're able to actually fan with this as well. So you can pick up lashes and create fans and use them as a volume fanning tweezer. But like I said, they're a great isolation tweezer just because their angle and the sharp edge that they have is not crazy curved. It's not even a curve. It's like an L or like a sharp curve. and it's not a super sharp curve, so the kind of angle that it's on allows you to still isolate the lashes a little bit better. So this could also be a specific type of eye shape that you're working with, and also just the way you angle your hand, the way you angle your wrist, it might be easier for you to use. But this one is a nice versatile tweezer just because, like I said, you can use it for isolation as well as fanning placement or even placing classic lashes. It just depends on what you like, but definitely a multi-purpose tweezer. Okay, so then on to our placement tweezers. So this one here is your regular straight tweezer. So this is what I was talking about in comparison to your isolation straight tweezer. As you can see, it has no curve, no edge right here. It just really kind of tapers to the top and it is one straight motion. So this is definitely for placement. Generally, like I said, when you get certified, you get your straight isolation tweezer and you would probably get a straight placement tweezer, especially if it's just classics that you're working with. This is your basic tweezer to pick up your classics and place them. It's definitely what I was taught on as well. And to be honest, sometimes simple is better and they work amazing. And it's a really nice way to keep things simplified and not have to switch back and forth. With tweezers, it's just your kind of like go-to. So these are great to also have in your kit just as a basic tweezer or almost like your fundamentals tweezer. So these are definitely for classics only. They're definitely not a tweezer that you would use to fan. One thing is just that they're super straight, so there's no way you could really pick up volumes and choose to fan them. It would be really difficult and it just doesn't have that edge to really give you that ability to either shimmy, pinch, or just make a fan and dip it back into your glue. It'll definitely be challenging. So these are only for classics. Okay, so now that we're moving on from our classic over here, we're gonna go on to our volume tweezers. Now with volume tweezers and volume fan tweezers, there are a lot of options, but these are our favorite and the ones that we carry right now. So I'm gonna show you right now our J tweezer. So it's this one right here. This is our J tweezer for obvious reasons. It is shaped like a J. So this one is ideal for fanning. I personally love this J tweezer for fanning thicker lashes such as 0.07s. I feel like it is a great tweezer that grabs right where you need it to and right when you need it to. And for me, I use the shimmy method. So because it's nice and thick, it's not a super thin tweezer. It allows me to kind of get a sturdy hold and really shimmy the lashes off the strip and dip right into the glue without having to worry about it falling off the tweezers. So I love this one. If you notice, it has a grip here. So some tweezers have this, some tweezers don't. There's nothing super crazy about this, but the only difference is that it is a grip and some people find it easier to grab and place the tweezer or grab and place the lashes with tweezers that have a grip. Especially, I feel like it's more so if you have like sweatier hands, you're able to kind of grip in one spot and not have to worry about sliding back and forth or up and down. So that's why it is this diamond shape here. It's really just to grip your fingers too. It doesn't really affect the tweezers in any other way other than how you grab the tweezers. Okay, so then we're moving on to our 90-degree tweezers. This is actually our best-selling tweezer. We just got it in rose gold, so that's what this one is here. So we also carry this one in gold as well, but without the finish, and then with the finish, so we have a few options. And then we also recently got this in black with no finish, so there's a couple options. Like I said, there's not much between this, the diamond grip versus the smooth. It just depends on what you like. So with the 90-degree tweezer, I think this tweezer is absolutely amazing for gripping thinner lashes. So I'm talking about 0.03s. This is what I would use to make my mega volume fans just because they are a nice thin tweezer and the sweet spot in these tweezers are amazing to work with, especially for me when I do my shimmy method, but also with people who do the pinch method. Because it is a thin base and a thin tweezer, it's easier for you to grab and kind of pinch the base of those lashes without having the tweezers get in the way, if that makes sense. I feel like that makes the entire process a bit faster and a bit easier, and you don't have to worry too much about adjusting too much with the tweezers getting in the way. So this is ideal for volume lashes and fan making. And I mean, I've seen some people use this for isolation tweezers as well, but it is a very, very sharp angle. It is a 90-degree angle. So I feel like it is a bit trickier to isolate with these, just because you would definitely you would have some sort of angle when you're holding your tweezers from your wrist, but I feel like you wouldn't really be able to get it at a great angle. So I definitely recommend these just for volume fanning. Okay, so last but not least, these are our boot tweezers. So these come in a couple colors, gold, black, and rose gold. I think we're currently sold out of the rose gold, but we have it in black and gold. So these are super popular. I feel like a lot of people use boot tweezers for fan making. It's, again, like a lot of these things are definitely preference and just what happens to work for you. But the boot tweezer is used a lot of times, I've seen, to make mega volumes or just really large fans. They're also a 90 degrees, so they have that nice flat base over here. So you're able to kind of grab the lashes without having to worry about the angle or rocking back and forth. It would just sit nice and straight on the strip, whether it's on a tile or on your hand or wherever it is that you place your strips. It just kind of grabs them and holds them in a nice spot, so you're able to maneuver them and manipulate them the way you want. So these have an amazing grip to them. They definitely have a nice tension where you're able to definitely find the sweet spot right away. So these are amazing for volume fans again, and a lot of these, like I said, are definitely preference. It's whatever works for you. I've tried a ton. Not everything works for me. Yeah, that's basically our boot tweezer. It is, like I said, it's a 90 degree and definitely for fan making. Just another option for fan making. Okay, so like I said, these are a bunch of different options that you can choose from. You definitely do not need all of these tweezers at all. These are just options. These are things that you can do as trial and error. I know that when you're starting off, it can be super overwhelming just based on having to see a flood of products and seeing people use so many different things, and you're like, why are they using that? But honestly, it is coming down to just what works for you. And you don't have to bombard yourself in the beginning and purchase a bunch of tweezers. What you can do is kind of choose one here and there, see what works, see what doesn't work. At the end of the day, it's really up to you and what happens to work for you. But I do recommend that you always have a backup tweezer, especially if you're working with tile or hardwood or anything like that, because what happens is that if you do drop your tweezers, that is literally it, and they will bend at the tip, and there's literally nothing you can do at that point. So you absolutely need to make sure that you have a backup tweezer. It could be a different tweezer, but something that still does the same thing. So if you're looking at a isolation tweezer and you like a curved isolation tweezer, maybe have a straight one as a backup just in case, just to kind of save you in that moment, because it does happen. And like I said, once they're bent, there's not much you can do about it. So something else to keep in mind about tweezers, and this is super important and it is a big deal, is that every single tweezer has a different sweet spot. So what a sweet spot is really where, or the part of the tweezer that actually grabs the most lashes and will hold onto them at the exact right amount of pressure. So this is super important, more so for volume lashes than classic lashes. Yes, it is super important for classic lashes because you definitely still want to pick up the lash at the right spot and place it so that way nothing moves, nothing flies off the tweezer. But when it comes down to volume lashing, if you don't know your sweet spot, your fans are never going to fan properly and you're going to blame the wrong things, and chances are you just haven't found the sweet spot in the tweezer as yet. When you're looking for your sweet spot in your tweezers, there's a couple things you want to know. You never want to grab your lashes at the tip of the tweezer because that is absolutely not the sweet spot. You never want to go too far up the tweezer either because that is going to be too much of a gap, and what's going to happen is the lashes may grab, but then they'll all just kind of fall apart before you're able to dip them in the glue. It's usually somewhere between the tip and the base or the back of the curve is. It's somewhere in between here. And like I said, every tweezer has a different sweet spot. So what you have to do sometimes is a little bit of trial and error to kind of just shimmy the tweezers, kind of pick up a few, lose a few lashes, just really find that sweet spot because it's gonna save you a ton of time figuring this out before you actually start lashing. And to be honest, sometimes, like I said, it's not always the tweezer that's failing you. It's really just trying to figure out exactly where that sweet spot is. Okay, so like I said, we are doing a giveaway right now, and what what I am going to give away is 2 tweezers of your choice. As long as we have it in stock, any color, any style, you can pick exactly which tweezers you want. The way to enter this giveaway is to follow my personal Instagram account, which will be linked down below. Make sure you like and share this video, tag me on your shares on Instagram, and that's how I'll know if you entered, and I will be choosing a winner in a week. And then for a bonus entry, make sure you comment down below and let us know what your favorite tweezers are. We definitely want to know. I want to hear exactly what it is. Even if it's not one of these, just let me know what your favorite tweezers are. Okay guys, that is it for this video. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that this helped kind of go through tweezers and what it may be, even if you don't know, in terms of being overwhelmed with all these tools. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this, basically just breaking down products for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with something new next time. Bye!